Pan, Mr. Tomness, Torque, Danny DeVito, Pan again, but the other one, the Del Toro one. The one I can't remember the name of the movie. But let's talk about satyrs. Let's see what Wikipedia has to say about satyrs. Greek mythology, right? Male spirits, okay. Ears and tails resembling horses, often attempting to seduce women and nymphs, as well as permanently exaggerated erections. Hold on a second. Nope, hold on. Let me look at this. One minute. Renaissance, okay. Pan, a form of other god Pans, yes. Goat horns and legs. Romans. Nailed it. Okay, thank the makers. The Romans identified satyrs with their native nature spirits, fauns, and eventually the distinction between fauns and satyrs just kind of faded away. So there we go. We're gonna go with that one and forget all about the giant, weird, horse people. That'll be fine. See, they've come a long way, and now they're commonly appearing in works of fantasy and children's literature, but yeah, let's go with the faun definition. That being said, I don't want to lose the crude and obscene nature of the satyrs. They are supposed to be a bit garish and, well, let's just say extra. They're supposed to be a lot extra. Maybe we just lean into the Magic the Gathering and D&D has to say about this one. Mythological nature spirits, usually in the form of a half-man, half-goat creature, dancing, drinking, playing tricks. The satyrs of the Forgotten Realms are more about having a good time than rocking a 24-hour action. But Rook, you might ask, what if having it? Nope, not gonna happen. No one's gonna ask me that question. Let's just talk about stats. Satyrs are simple. Seeing as they're usually depicted as fey in nature, it makes sense for them to get a bonus in charisma as well as dexterity. They do have horns, which grant them access to a ram or charge attack, dealing 1d4 damage plus your strength modifier. As well, your nimble goat feet allow you to make mirthful leaps, adding a d8 of additional feet to any long or standing jump. That is that you jump further, not gain additional feet. This isn't some weird Cthulhu multi-legged goat simulator bullshit. Bouncy goat boys. Actually, can we talk about that? I know from a traditional standpoint, satyrs are supposed to be male, but since they are fey in nature and Magic the Gathering seems to not give a shit about it, I'm fine with having either male or female fauns. What's with all the cursing? I'm just full of beans today. Could make an argument that nymphs or dryads would be a good counterpoint to them based on the mythology, but I mean, where does the goat part come from? That's what I don't get. I still blame horny elves for most things half one thing or another. Looking at you centaurs, mermaids, Locatha. They're like merfolks, but the other way around. Maybe merfolks are the ones that are backwards. Everyone else gets the head of something and then a human body, but moving on. Fake creatures are fake creatures, and that's what I think we should focus on. They move slightly faster than most, getting 35 feet per movement. They have magical resistance, which is pretty awesome. It gives them saving throws on any spell or spell-like ability that affects them, which in itself is pretty powerful. And they play a pretty wicked flute. And then finally, they have Reveler? Wait a minute. What the actual dick? Reveler. Reveler's all they get in 5e. Proficiency with performance and persuasion skills, and proficiency with one musical instrument of your choice. That's a little weak sauce, don't you think? I mean, these walking parties of one should have something besides casual toot powers and resistance to magic. In Pathfinder, as well as many of the monstrous versions in D&D, the flute, or I guess the instrument of your choice, should be a pivotal part of your kit. Well, they do have to be crafted like many other magical instruments, spending a week of effort. They come with some pretty sweet Fey-inspired magics, which can include things like Charm Person, Fear, Sleep, Suggestion, and these are the quintessential magics of the Fey. And I think the satyrs, as well as like sirens, excel at casting these kind of magics. Whereas bards start off low level and slowly achieve these grand spells and the ability to captivate the mind, I think satyrs should be able to do that from the get-go. What better way for a satyr to keep the life of the party going than to just make everyone dance themselves to death? Actually, that might not be great. Distract a whole crowd of people with beautiful, joyful music while their party runs around solving a crime. I mean, you could do it the old school way and just run around with a giant permanent erection, but I bet the flute playing would probably go over better with your party. Then again, I don't know, I'm not your party. I'm going to go ahead and go with you do you in this situation. Moving on. These spells should have a DC equal to 8 plus your proficiency modifier plus your charisma. But on the other side of it, I think if you save from it, it should be kind of all-encompassing. Because unless you save from it, you should be like completely enthralled by it. If you do save from one of those effects, I would argue you should become immune to any of the songs for the satyr for the next 24 hours. I'd even go as far as to say that if there were multiple satyrs playing, you'd probably be immune to all of them once you've beaten the DC. Once you catch wise to the Fae, it's going to be a lot harder for any Fae to pull one over on you. Whatever you do, don't eat that food. What food? This food? Yes, that food. Gotcha. Don't eat the food. Does that include this food? You already ate the food, didn't you? No. I'm watching you eat the food right now. Do you want some? The other option would be to allow some of these to be at-will spell-like abilities. Charm Person, Dancing Lights, Goat Sounds, Ghost Sounds, Sleep, or Suggestion. Can all be a single target ability that still require a musical component. You can even go ahead and add uses per day, but like I said, I think it's kind of an all or nothing save anyways. You're either enthralled by the charisma of these little goat demons, or you're not. Goat demon, that might be confusing. Go ahead and scratch that off and we'll redo that part. Rugby? Rugby! Where'd you get that burrito? I told you not to eat the food! That's really about it. They are theoretically fun little critters. You can play around with their jumping, and there's definitely an argument for them to get the athletics feat or the mobile feat to augment the reveler trait, but beyond that, I'd say get out there, toot your flute, and start having a grand old time. Side note, mostly all of the satyr creatures in the monster manuals have a proclivity for short bows or slings. I don't think mechanically this is as important, but thematically, I like it. I think it's fun that they're mostly skilled with ranged weapon. It could be their dexterity bonus, but I also just like it. Satyrs are generally not weak creatures and usually have some form of level, whether it's a ranger or a druid, giving them access to some sweet bow moves or actual bard skills, but druids and bards have way more powerful tools in their kits than the occasional lulling someone to sleep with a song. That in mind, I really do think satyrs need something to give them a unique edge. Whether it's singing or magical fey arrows, pick something that is Fey inspired. Hell, maybe you can even summon wine to give to your party, or really good at dropping the beat, dropping the bass, dropping the ball, drop it like it's hot. What do you drop these days? Rugby, make a note to call Skrillex and see what we're dropping these days. Rugby? Rugby? Did you get your head stuck in the Ben & Jerry's tub again? Just have fun with it. Make sure to talk to your DM beforehand. If it feels like it's a bit strong, you can always kind of augment it by placing a weakness to cold iron or something to that effect in there. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy Fey-tember or Saytember. No, that doesn't sound right. Either way, have a happy Fey-inspired month. We'll be posting Fey and Fey-inspired art in the Discord all month. If you have any cool stories about satyrs or Fey, please feel free to leave a comment below. And you're always welcome to share our work on the Discord. If you made it this far, don't forget to subscribe and click that dingly bell down below to make sure you're kept up to date with all the D&D inspired artwork. A huge thanks to all of the Patreon members that help make these videos possible and keep the Discord up and running. Remember to keep your dice on the table, and if you're a rush and last for more than 4 hours, you're probably a satyr. Or you need to call a doctor. Probably call the doctor first before checking if you're a satyr, just in case. Then again, your doctor would probably know.